I feel like this past season is just...
Mikaela Shiffrin, one of the greatest skiers of all time, was on the verge of her 100th World Cup win. The stage was set at Killington, Vermont in November 2024. Fans gathered in excitement, ready to watch history unfold. Her first run in the giant slalom was flawless, reminding everyone why she's a two-time Olympic champion. But during her second run, everything changed in an instant. As Shiffrin approached a crucial section of the course, something went wrong. She hit a bump, lost control, and crashed hard into the safety net. The crowd went silent, holding their breath as she lay motionless at the edge of the slope. It wasn't just a normal tumble, this was serious. The medical team rushed in, carefully loading her onto a sled and transporting her down the mountain. Later, it was revealed that Shiffrin had suffered a puncture wound near her right oblique muscle. This wasn't your typical skiing injury. Instead of the usual broken bones or ligament tears, she was dealing with something far more complicated. The puncture caused significant trauma to her abdominal area, and fluid began building up around the wound. It was a rare, serious injury that would require surgery to fix. Shiffrin's injury wasn't just painful, it hit right at the core of what makes skiing possible. The oblique muscles, located on the sides of your abdomen, are essential for stability and turning at high speeds. For a sport like skiing, where split-second movements can make or break a race, this kind of injury was devastating. Even worse, there wasn't much guidance for how to recover from it, since it's so uncommon in skiing. As news of her crash spread, fans and experts alike began to wonder, could this injury end her season? Or worse, could it end her career? Shiffrin herself admitted the situation was new and uncertain. There's not a lot of precedent for this in skiing, she said in an interview. While other sports like baseball or hockey occasionally see similar injuries, the demands of skiing are completely different. The force required to make sharp turns in events like the giant slalom or Super G is unmatched, putting a lot of strain on the core. Shiffrin underwent surgery on December 12, 2024, to drain the fluid and repair the damaged muscle. The operation was delicate, as the wound was dangerously close to her colon, just millimeters away. The thought of how much worse it could have been wasn't lost on her team. Despite the surgery going well, the recovery process wasn't smooth. Doctors initially used a wound vacuum to remove fluid, but hidden pockets made it difficult to heal. This added complications and forced additional procedures. Through all of this, Shiffrin's resilience started to shine through. Despite the physical and emotional toll, she remained determined to recover. Her team focused on building a plan tailored to her unique situation. This included not just physical therapy, but also mental health support to help her handle the pressure of being sidelined during such a critical time in her career. The skiing world, meanwhile, felt her absence deeply. Shiffrin wasn't just a competitor, she was a symbol of excellence. Her ability to dominate on the slopes inspired countless young skiers. Without her, the dynamic on the World Cup circuit shifted. Some competitors saw it as an opportunity to step up, but most simply missed the challenge of racing against her. For Shiffrin, the hardest part wasn't just the injury, it was being so close to history and having it slip away. Sitting at 99 World Cup wins, she was just one victory away from joining the most elite club in skiing. Reaching that milestone would have cemented her legacy as one of the all-time greats, but now it was on hold. It wasn't just about breaking records, it was about showing the world what she was capable of. Even as she faced this setback, Shiffrin's mindset remained positive. She began sharing small updates with her fans, from walking again to her first steps back in the gym. These little victories reminded everyone why she's not just a great skier, but a great role model too. Every step forward is worth celebrating, she said in one of her posts. As the 2024-2025 season rolled on, the big question remained. Could Mikaela Shiffrin make a comeback? The road ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. If anyone could do it, it was her. After her crash and the surgery that followed, Mikaela Shiffrin's recovery journey began in earnest. By January 2025, she started sharing updates with her fans, offering a glimpse into the hard work behind the scenes. Her first post-surgery workout video showed her cautiously moving, sweating, and smiling. "I can move again," she said, clearly relieved. For her fans, it was a glimmer of hope in what had been a tough season. But recovery was no easy task. Shiffrin had to focus on rebuilding her strength, especially in her core. Skiing is all about balance, torque, and precision, things her injured oblique muscles were responsible for. The road back to competition wasn't just about getting stronger, it was about regaining the ability to ski with intensity. Every day in the gym was a test of patience, as she pushed herself without risking setbacks. One of Shiffrin's goals during recovery was to get back on the snow, even if it was just for easy turns. For someone who had spent her entire life skiing, being away from the slopes felt like a part of her was missing. Her team set a cautious timeline, but Shiffrin's determination to return never wavered. "It's all about baby steps," she said. "Progress doesn't happen overnight, but every little step forward matters." Her resilience wasn't just physical, it was mental. Recovery from any serious injury takes an enormous amount of mental toughness, and Shiffrin's ability to stay positive inspired fans everywhere. She set small milestones, celebrated them, and kept her focus on what she could control. Whether it was climbing stairs again or managing her pain levels, she faced each challenge head on. Her approach became a reminder of why she's not just a champion on the slopes, but a role model off them. As the season progressed, the big question loomed. Would she be able to return before the World Cup ended in March? Fans and analysts debated the possibility, but Shiffrin remained cautious. "There's still work to do," she admitted. "Skiing is an unforgiving sport, and even the smallest misstep could undo months of recovery." Her team decided to prioritize her long-term health over a rushed comeback. The stakes, however, were high. Shiffrin wasn't just racing to get back on the slopes, she was chasing history. With 99 World Cup wins under her belt, she was just one victory away from reaching an incredible milestone: 100 career wins. Few athletes in skiing, or any sport for that matter, have ever achieved such a feat. For Shiffrin, the 100th win wasn't just a number, it was the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and an unwavering love for the sport. The anticipation surrounding her return only grew as the season went on. Fans speculated about where and when she might make her comeback. Some believed she would return in time to compete in March, while others thought she might save her energy for the 2025-2026 season. Whatever the timeline, the skiing world was eager to see her back in action. Even her competitors felt her absence. For years, Shiffrin had been the athlete everyone measured themselves against. Without her on the slopes, the races felt different. Some skiers saw it as an opportunity to shine, but most missed the thrill of going head-to-head with one of the sport's all-time greats. Shiffrin's injury also sparked conversations about safety in skiing. Her crash was a reminder of how dangerous the sport can be. Sharp turns, high speeds, and unpredictable conditions make every run a risk. The puncture wound she suffered was unusual, but it highlighted the need for better safety measures on the slopes. As someone who has always been vocal about improving the sport, Shiffrin's experience may lead to changes that protect future athletes. Despite the challenges, Shiffrin's focus never wavered. Her recovery updates showed a mix of determination and humility. She shared the highs, like her first pain-free workout, and the lows, reminding fans that setbacks are part of the process. Her journey wasn't just about getting back to skiing, it was about proving to herself and the world that she could overcome yet another obstacle. For Mikaela Shiffrin, the road to recovery was more than just a physical battle, it was a test of her spirit. And while the timeline for her return remained uncertain, one thing was clear: when she does step back onto the slopes, it will be with the same grit and grace that have defined her entire career.